Have you ever felt so overwhelmed by emotions that you couldn't think clearly or act rationally? Have you ever wished you could stay calm, composed, and control your reactions, even when life throws unexpected challenges your way? If the answer is yes, you're not alone. Everyone has experienced moments when emotions seem to take the wheel of their lives. Stoicism, an ancient philosophical school, offers a solution to this problem. Stoicism teaches that true strength lies not in changing circumstances, but in the ability to control our reactions and emotions. In this video, we will explore 13 Stoic lessons on how to control emotions, from recognizing emotions, analyzing their causes, to how to accept, express, and direct them in ways that benefit our lives. Each lesson is not just theory, but a practical tool for you to apply daily. When you understand and practice them, you no longer become a victim of your emotions, but instead you become the master of your inner self, reacting with reason rather than letting emotions dictate your actions. This is a journey of self-awareness, developing emotional intelligence, and building inner peace, where every step forward brings greater control and self-mastery. Imagine standing in the middle of an emotional ocean, with waves crashing around you, but inside you have a sturdy lighthouse. The 13 Stoic lessons in this video will be the guiding light, helping you observe, understand, and direct your emotions, so that no matter how many challenges life throws your way, you remain calm, clear-headed, and confident. The first lesson Stoicism wants to address is observing emotions. The first step in controlling emotions, according to Stoicism, is to become an inner observer. Imagine standing on the deck of a ship in the middle of the emotional storm of anger, anxiety, frustration, or joy. Instead of being swept away by the waves, you learn to stand still, observe, and understand the nature of those emotions. This is the foundation for not being controlled by them, but rather responding with reason and composure. Seneca, the Roman philosopher, emphasized that introspection, or self-observation, is the key to awareness. He wrote that the greatest task in life is to clearly distinguish between what is within our control and what is not, allowing us to differentiate between reactions we can choose and external factors we cannot change. By applying this, every emotion becomes data to better understand ourselves, rather than a reason to act impulsively or lose control. Observing emotions is not the same as judging or suppressing them. In fact, when you pay attention to the sensations in your body, the tightness in your chest when you're angry, the quickening of your heart when you're nervous, you can identify the source of the emotion before reacting. At the same time, you also become aware of the accompanying thoughts, self-criticism, anxiety, or unrealistic expectations. This observation helps separate emotions from immediate actions, viewing them like clouds drifting across the sky, coming and going without pulling you along. The benefit of observing emotions is that it enhances your ability to consciously choose how to respond. When you recognize an emotion and understand its origin, you can decide to act with reason, not impulsive emotion. This is the first step in developing emotional intelligence, self-control, and inner peace. The second lesson is identifying emotions. Often we lump a feeling into broad categories like sad or happy, but in reality, each emotion has many nuances: disappointment, anxiety, frustration, or excitement. By specifically identifying these emotions, we gain a better understanding of what is happening in our mind and body, allowing us to respond appropriately rather than being led by our emotions. Epicurus, a Stoic philosopher, emphasized that it is not the event itself that causes distress, but how we assess and interpret the event that generates emotion. When you realize you're feeling disappointed after an unfavorable event, don't stop at labeling it as sad. Dig deeper. Are you disappointed because you missed an opportunity, because of a sense of unfairness, or due to anxiety about future outcomes? Assigning such detailed labels helps you understand the nature of the emotion and its origin, enabling you to better control your reactions. Identifying emotions also helps you place emotional experiences into a long-term context. A feeling of anger or frustration may arise as an immediate reaction, but by observing and identifying it, you can see the connection between the current emotion and past experiences. This allows you to gain a better understanding of your psychological mechanisms, recognize recurring emotional patterns, and begin adjusting your reactions with reason. Identifying emotions is also a crucial step in enhancing self-awareness and developing long-term emotional intelligence. When you can distinguish the nuances of your emotions, you not only gain better control over your reactions, but also deepen your understanding of your needs, limits, and personal values. This is the foundation for applying the following lessons, such as accepting emotions, understanding their causes, and shifting your perspective, ultimately enabling you to master your inner self and respond rationally in all situations. The next lesson is accepting emotions. Life is not only filled with joyful moments, but also with anxiety, disappointment, anger, and fear. Accepting emotions does not mean letting them control you, but rather acknowledging their existence as a natural part of the human experience. It involves learning to understand the messages they convey and choosing to respond with reason. Marcus Aurelius once emphasized that wasting time debating how we should feel is meaningless. Stoicism teaches that emotions are a natural phenomenon, and resisting them only increases tension. Imagine standing on the shore, observing the ocean waves. Some are gentle while others are powerful. You cannot stop the waves from coming, but you can learn to observe, understand, and choose how to act so that you are not swept away by them. Accepting emotions also helps you understand your inner needs and values. Anger may be a sign that boundaries have been crossed, fear signals a potential threat, and sadness reminds you to take care of yourself. When you accept these emotions, you do not react instinctively, but choose how to handle them based on reason, using the information from your emotions to make wise and informed decisions. Suppressing or resisting emotions only increases tension and reduces cognitive clarity. Those who understand Stoicism recognize that emotions are only dangerous when they control behavior. By accepting them, you create a space between emotion and action, allowing you to respond consciously, maintain inner peace, and develop long-term self-control. Accepting emotions also helps you understand the underlying message within each emotion. Anger may signal that your boundaries have been violated, fear reveals a potential threat, and sadness could remind you to take care of yourself. When you view emotions as data to analyze, rather than reacting instinctively, you will develop the ability to make rational decisions and maintain inner peace, even in the face of difficult challenges. Understanding the cause of emotions is the next lesson that Stoics emphasize. Emotions often arise from external triggers such as words, actions, or situations. But according to Stoicism, it is the way you interpret and evaluate those events that determines your emotional response. Identifying the cause allows you to not become a victim of your emotions, but instead to actively navigate them. Understanding the cause of emotions helps reduce stress and conflict. When you realize that frustration or anxiety stems from unrealistic expectations, misunderstandings, or personal perspectives, you can adjust your communication, behavior, and thoughts, preventing emotions from escalating and maintaining inner peace. Identifying the right triggers is the first step in shifting from instinctive reactions to conscious choices. Understanding the cause of emotions also helps you use emotions as data for learning. When you realize that anger stems from unrealistic expectations or anxiety from excessive pressure, you can adjust your behavior, set boundaries, or prepare mentally for similar situations. As a result, you become calmer, more rational, and wiser in your responses, turning emotions from obstacles into tools for personal growth. An important lesson controlling emotions, according to Stoicism, is to challenge and change limiting beliefs. We often react strongly to unfavorable events, not because of the events themselves, but because of how we interpret and believe about them. Beliefs such as "I'm not good enough" or "everything must be perfect" can trigger stress, frustration, and anger, even in small situations. Recognizing that emotions are formed from how we evaluate events helps you regain control over your reactions. Epicurus once emphasized that it is not the events that disturb us, but the views we take of them. When facing negative emotions, asking questions like, "Is this belief accurate? Does it help or hinder me?" is a way to identify and change limiting thoughts. Challenging beliefs helps reduce emotional outbursts, creating space to respond rationally and maintain inner peace. Fixed beliefs, if not challenged, create recurring cycles of disappointment and stress. By identifying the beliefs that drive your emotions, you can replace them with more flexible perspectives, making your reactions less intense, more composed, and increasing your ability to make conscious choices. Changing your perspective also helps you turn emotions into learning tools. When you recognize that frustration or anxiety stems from unrealistic expectations, you can adjust your behavior, set realistic goals, and prepare mentally for unexpected situations. As a result, you no longer react impulsively, but develop the ability to choose wise actions in every situation, ready to apply the next lessons. Reframing your mindset, pausing before reacting, and expressing emotions in a healthy way. Lesson 6, adjusting your perspective. When faced with an event, the way you perceive it completely determines your emotion. Imagine standing on top of a mountain, observing the vast landscape. On a sunny day, the view feels bright and inspiring. On a rainy day, the scene seems gloomy and heavy. The same event can make you feel disappointed or see it as an opportunity to learn, depending on how you choose to view it. From a Stoic perspective, how we perceive an event shapes our emotional response and determines our actions. When someone fixes their viewpoint, they are more likely to fall into negativity, frustration, and impulsive reactions. On the other hand, the ability to reframe our thinking helps us assess situations from multiple angles, recognizing the opportunities hidden behind challenges and choosing the appropriate way to respond. This not only helps develop emotional intelligence, but also maintains self-control, allowing us to respond calmly to stressful situations. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that wisdom arises from observation, analysis, and choosing how to perceive, not from avoiding emotions. When you learn to adjust your perspective, you don't change the event itself, but rather how the event affects you. This is a crucial step in becoming someone who navigates emotions, responding with reason and calmness. Pausing before reacting is one of the core skills in controlling emotions. The space between the trigger and the response is not just time, but also a space to recognize and analyze the emotion before acting. Stoicism emphasizes that emotions only become dangerous when they control behavior, and it is this pause that helps shift from impulsive reactions to rational choices. Pausing before reacting creates a space for observation, where you can fully understand the cause of your emotions and assess the consequences of each choice. Those who lack this pause often act impulsively, leading to regret or unnecessary conflict. In contrast, those who practice pausing can handle situations with a clear, calm, and strategic mindset, even in stressful circumstances. According to Stoic philosophy, the space before reacting is an opportunity to develop self-control and emotional intelligence. This is not about avoiding emotions, but about the ability to observe, evaluate, and choose a response that aligns with reason. The wise understand that emotions cannot be eliminated, but how they influence behavior is entirely within our control. Pausing before reacting helps build the habit of responding consciously, turning emotions into data for analysis and learning. This space not only prevents impulsive reactions, but also strengthens self-control, allowing you to maintain inner peace and respond calmly to all of life's challenges. Lesson 8 is expressing positive emotions. Controlling emotions does not mean suppressing them, but knowing how to express them in a healthy and conscious way. The wise, according to Stoicism, understand that suppressing negative emotions only increases stress, anxiety, and negatively impacts both mental and physical health. On the other hand, expressing positive emotions helps release energy, better understand oneself, and nurture inner balance. Imagine emotions as flowers in a vase. If you don't water or care for them, they will wither. If you force them into a tight mold, their beauty and fragrance will not be revealed. Similarly, emotions need to be expressed in a safe and positive way. Talking with a trusted person, journaling, expressing through art, or physical activities. This is how emotions can be heard and processed, rather than accumulating and exploding unexpectedly. When emotions are expressed healthily, we reduce stress, enhance awareness, and make better decisions. A person who knows how to express anger through direct and rational communication will create solutions instead of escalating conflict. Similarly, expressing joy, gratitude, or enthusiasm strengthens the spirit and spreads positive energy to those around us. Expressing emotions is part of self-control and responsibility towards oneself. We are not controlled by our emotions. Rather, we choose to express them constructively. This practice not only helps us maintain balance, but also creates a positive environment, improving relationships with others. Lesson 9, according to Stoicism, is practicing gratitude. When life presents challenges, disappointments, or difficulties, focusing on the positive can help stabilize emotions and maintain inner peace. Gratitude does not mean ignoring the struggles, but rather recognizing and appreciating the good things around us, whether they are small or significant. Gratitude is the light that illuminates the darkest moments of the soul. When faced with disappointment, loss, or difficulty, gratitude helps us see the hidden value in what remains, rather than focusing on what is lacking. In Stoicism, recognizing and appreciating the positive is the way to keep the mind at peace, even amidst the storms of life. Analysis shows that gratitude helps redirect mental energy from negative to positive, reducing attachment and the negative emotions arising from disappointment or envy. When people learn to appreciate what they have, health, relationships, time, or opportunities, they are no longer controlled by feelings of scarcity and injustice. Stoicism emphasizes that the ability to perceive value does not depend on circumstances, but on how we direct our thoughts and perceptions. Gratitude calms the mind, enhances emotional control, and helps individuals act rationally in every situation. This is a crucial part of self-control and inner wisdom. This not only brings peace to the individual, but also spreads positive energy to the surrounding environment, helping to build lasting relationships and nurture a supportive community. In the stillness of Stoicism, gratitude is the tool that allows us to see the light in the darkness, maintain mental clarity in the face of challenges, and view life with greater depth. Lesson 10, self-forgiveness and compassion. This is the ability to free ourselves from the burdens we place upon ourselves. In Stoicism, excessive self-criticism is a cause of increased stress and diminished ability to act wisely. Self-forgiveness is not about ignoring mistakes or being irresponsible, but about recognizing errors, learning from them, and maintaining inner peace. Those who do not know how to forgive often become trapped in a cycle of self-blame and regret, causing mental energy to drain and reducing their ability to control emotions. On the other hand, the ability to forgive helps separate emotions from actions, creating a space for reason to make the right decisions while nurturing calmness and self-control. Stoicism emphasizes that self-forgiveness is a manifestation of wisdom and inner strength. The wise understand that mistakes are an inevitable part of being human, and that maintaining calmness and learning from those mistakes is what truly matters. Forgiveness is not only inward-focused, but also enables individuals to interact with the world in a calmer and wiser manner, free from the influence of the past. Self-forgiveness and compassion are tools for maintaining mental balance, soothing stress, releasing positive energy, and strengthening emotional intelligence. When combined with the previous lessons, the ability to forgive helps you become someone who navigates emotions, controls the inner self, and remains at peace in the face of challenges, paving the way for the final lessons in the Stoic journey. In the journey of emotional control, an important principle is not isolating yourself, but seeking support when needed. Recognizing that you cannot face every challenge alone is a key step in developing inner wisdom. Stoicism emphasizes that humans are inherently social beings. Seeking support when necessary is not a sign of weakness, but a manifestation of wisdom and intelligence. Trusted individuals can provide objective perspectives, help you identify the causes of your emotions, and maintain inner peace. Seeking help reduces mental burdens and enhances the ability to control reactions. Instead of facing the emotional storms alone, you can observe, assess, and choose a rational way to respond. This distance helps prevent impulsive behaviors while strengthening self-control in stressful and complex situations. Supportive relationships also provide opportunities to learn from others' experiences and perspectives. By observing how others handle their emotions, you can identify various strategies, compare their suitability, and apply them to your own situations. This is the path that helps emotional intelligence grow, while also increasing your ability to respond calmly in any circumstance. Additionally, seeking help allows you to recognize your limitations transparently. Stoicism teaches that acknowledging your limits is not a weakness, but a profound understanding of oneself. When you know your limits, you won't overburden yourself, and you will also learn how to collaborate and share responsibilities with others, thereby maintaining inner peace and reducing emotional pressure. Lesson 12. Recognizing progress. We often focus on the ultimate goal, overlooking the positive steps taken along the journey. Stoicism teaches that every small step forward is valuable, and acknowledging this progress helps maintain motivation, boost confidence, and enhance patience in the process of personal growth. From a Stoic perspective, recognizing progress not only strengthens the spirit, but also helps build awareness of self-control. When you see progress in responding with reason rather than impulsively, you affirm your ability to control yourself and maintain inner peace. Each small step is proof of inner strength and the ability to continuously grow. Looking at the bigger picture, recognizing progress helps cultivate a positive attitude and patience. When you appreciate each small improvement, you focus on the journey of personal growth rather than comparing yourself to others or fixating on the final outcome. This is an important step in preparing for the final lesson, viewing emotions as a journey, where each experience is an opportunity to learn, refine wisdom, and grow inwardly. This also helps you understand the pace of your personal development. Not every step forward is monumental or clear, but consistency in small improvements builds inner stability. Stoicism teaches that judging too quickly or having unrealistic expectations often leads to stress. Conversely, acknowledging each small progress helps maintain motivation and stay calm when facing the next challenges. The final lesson is viewing emotions as a journey. Emotional control is not a destination, but an ongoing journey. Every emotion, from joy and happiness to anger and disappointment, is part of the learning and growth process. Stoicism teaches that we cannot completely eliminate emotions, but we can observe, understand, and guide them, turning each experience into an opportunity for developing wisdom and self-control. Each emotion, from joy and happiness to anger and disappointment, is part of the learning and growth process. Stoicism emphasizes that we cannot completely eliminate emotions, but we can observe, understand, and direct them, turning each experience into an opportunity for developing wisdom and self-control. Viewing emotions as a journey helps reduce pressure and disappointment. When you focus solely on having to control perfectly or always being right, it's easy to feel stressed and self-critical when facing failure. In contrast, understanding that each emotion is part of an ongoing process helps increase patience, self-confidence, and self-control, while also opening up the opportunity to learn from every experience. We have just explored 13 Stoic lessons for controlling emotions, from observing emotions, identifying them, accepting them, understanding their causes, changing perceptions, reframing thoughts, pausing before reacting, expressing positive emotions, practicing gratitude, self-forgiveness, seeking help, recognizing progress, to viewing emotions as a journey. Each lesson is a valuable tool, helping you become someone who navigates emotions, responding with reason rather than being controlled by them. From a Stoic perspective, mastering emotions is not about suppressing or eliminating them, but about observing, understanding, and consciously directing them. By applying these 13 lessons, you will enhance your self-control, calmness, reduce stress, and develop emotional intelligence. Both positive experiences and challenges become opportunities for learning, helping you grow stronger and wiser in every situation of life. If you found this video helpful, please hit like to share its value with more people. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on our upcoming videos, where we will continue exploring lessons on wisdom, character, and living with self-mastery according to Stoic philosophy. Remember, emotions are just a part of the journey. Wisdom and inner peace lie in how you respond to and direct them. Starting today, apply these lessons to master your emotions and build a life of peace, self-control, and fulfillment.